Anthony, welcome to Rio, brother. Over here in the corner. Right here, bro. Front row.
Oh, there we go.
What's going on, bro? How have you been since your last one? I know you had talked openly on the podcast about, taking some time and kind of getting out of that dark place where you weren't, to the point where you weren't even, responding to text messages and people were wondering where you are. So
Right.
How is your head and how is your mental state going into this week?
Man, I'm in a good spot. I think I just had to make some mental adjustments and just sit back and kind of figure out what I want to do and why I still do this, and just a lot of questions. But I'm in a good spot. I had a really good camp. I had a lot of fun, and I don't know. We're here. I'm excited about this fight, and I think that a lot of that is fight related. Like I'm excited about the matchup. It's a fun fight. I like Brazil. They don't like me so much, but I can still love them.
How important is that to you to stay sort of happy in camp? Because we hear from a guy like Volkanovski, he says, you know what, I need to keep me busy. I need to have something to work towards to. So how important is it for you to be happy in camp and have a goal to work towards to?
It's the most important part. If I'm not having fun, I might as well not do it. I fight like shit when I'm not having fun, if I'm not enjoying the process and that team atmosphere, there's no point in me doing this. So the happier I am, the more dangerous I am. And I'm in a really good spot. I'm happy. I've always talked about my personal life, and I don't mean that as my marriage, my kids, just where I'm at in my day-to-day, where I'm at in my own head makes a big difference on my performances. And I'm in a great place. I've done the work. I've spent time with my therapist and worked on those, all that stuff that's going on in my brain. And I feel good. So it changes time to time. Fight to fight is different, but this one I'm in a good spot.
And then I want to ask you this one as well. Why do you think people are so hard on you specifically? Because you see a lot of chatter online of people saying,
right.
Anthony Smith on paper, but I think it's just you being confident in yourself, whereas every other fighter is confident in themselves and is outspoken about it. They get encouraged, but for some reason, you seem to get a lot of flack for it. Why do you think that is?
Well, some of it is the position I put myself in as being an analyst, right? So fans are stupid. They are. You guys write an article, and they don't read the article. They just read the headline and they just make up the rest in their head. If they actually read it, almost everything I say makes a lot of sense. Every once in a while, maybe I have some crazy takes, but it's not that often. And honestly, me and my friends play a game. What kind of crazy shit can I say to see what the fans will say? Then they just play into it. So it is what it is. But they can't separate me as an analyst and me as an athlete. So when I'm talking about someone as an analyst, I don't put myself into that. I can talk about Alex Pereira all I want. I'm not talking about how it would be with me. I'm not even saying I'm better than he is. How I feel about myself personally has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I've said he's a fantastic striker. No lies there. Said he's probably not a great grappler. Does anyone in this room think that he's a black belt grappler? Come on. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm saying what he's done at this level for as long as he's done it is amazing. DC's loud ass out there said the exact same thing and no one said shit. But as soon as I say it, because I'm still competing, they have a problem with it. And I've just gotten to the point where I don't really care. It doesn't matter. The fighters know that I'm speaking the truth, because you don't see anybody coming up in hallways trying to fight me about it. They know I'm right, and that's totally fine. I think some of it is, I get a little bit crazy with Michael on the BYM a little bit, and we go crazy, but it is what it is.
And then just last one for me. How was training with evil Anthony Smith, Bogdan Guskov? I saw you got some work with him.
Hey, that kid's good. He was a lot of fun. He was super respectful. And he's got a great skill set. It was a lot of fun just getting some rounds in there with a lot of those guys. I had a lot of fun with Shan Strickland. For the stuff that he says online and the craziness that is Shan Strickland, he's an incredible teammate. The way that I've seen him really foster and build up and really spend a lot of time trying to help his teammates and just the effort that he puts into his teammates of trying to fix things and pulling me aside even and saying, hey, we got to fix this, try this. Everyone at Extreme Couture was really, really cool to me, including Bogdan. He was a lot of fun.
Hey, Anthony, just over here. to your right.
There we go. Gotcha.
I saw before this fight, you stated to Damon Martin that you didn't want to go your whole career never winning in Brazil after 2 prior outings. Like, in the broader context of your whole career, how much would like a third time's the charm style win here in Rio mean to you?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, getting a win here in Rio, in Brazil, a submission win would be a lot of fun. Submission, jiu-jitsu's always been my base. So I don't know. I just didn't want to go my whole career never winning in Brazil because I like Brazil so much. I have a lot of fun here. I love the Brazilian fans. I love the culture. I'm trying to learn Portuguese. It's not going well. But I would love to get a win in Brazil. That would mean a lot to me. It really would mean a lot to me.
I feel the learning Portuguese and not going so well, so I hear you out.
It's not going great. Yeah, it's not going great.
But also as a follow-up, like you're talking about Vitor Petrino and just, undefeated overall in MMA and 4-0 in the UFC. Like, you talk about him being an exciting opponent, like in terms of the X's and O's of that, like why are you so excited about this matchup?
I just think he's good. Like, I think he's got a good skill set. I think that he's going to be a staple in the division for a long time. I like his style. I like his explosiveness and his power. And I think he'll bring the fight to me. And those are the fights I want to be into. Those are the fights I want to get into. Brian Spann had like a very, very explosive style in our first fight, and it works out for me. Like, I would rather people bring the fight to me, and I'm willing to fight in a phone booth and play the game. I think we've all seen that in my last fight with Khalil. Like, short notice or not, I'll still stand in the pocket and throw. Most of the time it works out for me. Sometimes it doesn't. But I think he's just that guy. I think he's going to bring the fight to me. I think he'll be aggressive. And he'll fight everywhere. He's willing to grapple. He wants to wrestle, he'll fight in the clinch. He wants to strike. If I want to continue to prove to myself that I'm good enough to be here and I deserve to be in the rankings, those are the kind of guys I have to beat. So it's a fun challenge. And it was a good excuse to come to Brazil, if I'm being honest.
And just lastly, for me, I mean, your analyst work has been mentioned for sure. I imagine you're squarely focused on the fight, obviously, but is there any kind of like peripheral awareness of any of the other fights on UFC 301 here?
No, being very honest with you guys, like, I'm walking through here like super surprised when I'm like, oh wow, I didn't know he was fighting. Like, I just don't pay attention. I just been pretty zoned in on my own thing. I did work UFC 300, but I use it as an excuse to train in Vegas, which is something I wanted to do and spend the week there anyway. So, I really haven't really paid too much attention to the rest of the card. Obviously, Jonathan Martinez is on the card. That's one of my teammates, and Vince Pichel. So, like, I kind of know the ins and outs of what they got going on, but other than that, not really.
Thank you for the insights.
Yeah, thank you.
Would you be down to Would you be down to one day trying to work as an analyst and also fight on the same night? I think someone did that once at PFL, but
yeah, I actually asked like if I could like work the post show after I fought, and so far I've been getting big no's. But yeah, I actually did try. I wanted to.
What's the biggest difference in like you're flying to Rio to actually fight, but if you were only here just to commentate, just to work as an analyst, what's the biggest difference in a fight week for you when you do that for other cities?
Oh man, there'd be a whole lot more food and beer going on if I was working as an analyst. That's for sure. Really, I get in about the same time, and I just I kind of lock myself in my room and zone into the analyst work and studying and stuff. But when I'm fighting, I don't really do a whole lot. Like I come here and I talk to you guys, and then whatever else stuff I got to do, I cut weight and I fight. But usually when I'm working as an analyst, you can kind of enjoy the city that you're in a little bit, and you can go hang out and check out the food and the beach. And I'm kind of just stuck in this hotel and focus on what I got going on. So it's a much different role for sure.
You say you don't know much about this card, so maybe it's breaking news for that Jose Aldos fighting.
I did know that. I did know Jose Aldo was fighting.
I'd like to know your reaction to him come back and to look back and your favorite moments of his career.
Yeah, I'm a big Jose Aldo fan. Always have been, and I was really shocked that he was coming back and fighting. I don't suspect that Jose Aldo probably needs the money. I'm sure he's doing just fine. So I think that goes to show that competitive itch that fighters have never leaves. I think it's a cool opportunity for him to fight here in Rio, but I'm a little bit torn because he is fighting a good friend and training partner in Jonathan. So I'm excited for Jonathan to go in there and have the opportunity to take out a guy like Jose and really test himself and see where he's at. if you can get a win over a guy like Jose Aldo, the sky is the limit. You know, like that's a huge, huge opportunity for Jonathan. So I'm excited for him as well. Yeah, I bet the fans go crazy when Jose walks out, though. I can't wait to see that. That's for sure. Thank you.
You've been saying that your time here is always amazing. What do you like to do here? And if you could circle back to what you can say in Portuguese, what you've been learning, if you could share with us your beautiful Portuguese, would be nice.
Yeah, I like Brazil a lot. Again, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, so just the jiu-jitsu culture in Brazil is amazing. All the coaches that like I run into on all the cards, you know, when I'm working as an analyst, and I always have so much fun with the ones from Brazil because they're just so laid back and chill, and I find that the entire country is kind of like that until you get to fight night. Once I'm walking out to the octagon, it's different. But leading up to it, everyone's super nice. I love the food a lot. I'm a big beach guy, so the beach it sucks looking at the beach across the street out of my hotel window. Hopefully I get to spend some time there on Sunday. But as far as Portuguese, not a whole lot. It's not great. It's not great, that's for sure. Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it, guys.